This is the How to Buy Crypto in 2022 Beginner Guide, and this is going to be a step-by-step tutorial where I explain how to invest in cryptocurrency, and then I am going to go and invest $10,000 of my own money into crypto. And this is all going to be done live on camera so that you can see it.
It's very nice here, sir.
Now, when it comes to cryptocurrency, you pretty much see two types of people. The first one kind of looks like this guy.
Bitcoin could be displaced by Ether, which could be displaced by Dodge, which could be displaced by Hamster Coin. And then there's Cobra Coin. And what could Mongoose Coin do to Crypto Coin?
And then the second type of person looks like this guy.
Is this a 5 o'clock
Free crypto
giveaway?
Right, so on one side, you've got the crypto haters. They're kind of old school. They think it's a scam. They don't really understand it. Kind of like our grandparents or great-grandparents probably didn't understand credit cards when they first came out. And then on the other side, you've got people who are like, this crypto is about to 1 million X, and you need to
YOLO your entire life savings and sell your soul.
And all joking aside, the truth is, of course, somewhere in the middle. Is cryptocurrency the future? Well, it's definitely going to play a huge role in it, yes. But does crypto also have a lot of problems, and can it be incredibly risky? Yes and yes. Of course it has a lot of problems and it can be very risky. So that's why I decided to make this guide so that I can first help you understand cryptocurrency and then second, show you how to buy it. And also I have 2 free gifts for you in this video. And when I say free, I mean completely free. You don't have to give me your email address or any weird stuff like that. And I am putting a ton of effort into this video. At the end of the day, I think overall, this one's gonna take around 30 hours of work. So if you don't mind gently tapping that like button, I would truly appreciate it. All right, guys, so there are timestamps down in the description below. But before we start, I'm gonna go ahead and go over everything that we are going to be covering in this video. So first of all, we are gonna talk about what is cryptocurrency. Then we are gonna be going over the basics of crypto. And then we're going to be talking about where you can buy cryptocurrency and then the most popular exchanges. And I'm going to be giving you my insight after signing up to probably around 15 total exchanges over the years. And then we are going to be going over how to buy cryptocurrency. And I'm going to be using 2 different exchanges that I believe are very beginner friendly. And when I say we're going to be using 2 different exchanges, that means I am live going to be buying cryptocurrency from start to finish, step by step, from 2 different exchanges. All right, so first of all, what exactly is cryptocurrency? So the technical definition is a digital currency in which transactions are verified and records maintained by a decentralized system using cryptography rather than by a centralized authority. Now that's a pretty long sentence, so let's go ahead and break that down word by word. So first of all, a digital currency is a store of value that is digital rather than physical. But this does not tell the whole story at all because we already had digital currencies before cryptocurrency came along. But that digital currency had a lot of problems which cryptocurrency doesn't have. First of all, the digital currency was usually owned by a central authority, and there were no records maintained on the transactions. So for all you know, this central authority could just duplicate the currency anytime they want without telling anybody. However, the second part, transactions verified and records maintained, stops this from happening. And these transactions are verified automatically without failure on a digital ledger that anybody can see. And then it's done on a decentralized system using cryptography, which means it's sent from person A to person B without having to go through any intermediary. So in the past, if you wanted to send currency from person A to person B, you would probably have to go through a bank. This bank would have rules that they get to set, or maybe a government gets to set. And then on top of that, they would likely take a significant amount of the cut. And because you're using cryptography, this is all relatively anonymous. Some cryptocurrencies are more anonymous than others, however. And then the very last part, rather than by a central authority, is basically a way of saying that a central authority cannot just decide randomly to print more of the cryptocurrency. This means that many cryptocurrencies out there are inflation proof. And in very simple terms, this means that many cryptocurrencies' values, instead of going down over time like the US dollar has, will very likely go up. Now, all of what I said is really cool, but cryptocurrency isn't just that. Yes, it is relatively safe, it's decentralized, it's relatively anonymous, it's transparent, and it is a digital currency. and it can be used to buy and sell goods as well as store value, just like money can, without having a lot of the downsides of money like inflation, and it also can't be counterfeited. Both inflation as well as counterfeit money devalue the currency itself, and so that's something you don't really have to worry about with cryptocurrency. Now, on top of that, it's built on blockchain technology, and because of this, it has specific functions that money right now doesn't have. So let's say that you had some Bitcoin, which is the original cryptocurrency, and you wanted to exchange it for some Ethereum, which is another very popular cryptocurrency right now. Now, in the past, if you wanted to trade two different types of cryptocurrencies, you basically had two different options. First of all, you could try your luck, and one of the people could send the currency over to the other person first, and then if they verified that it was the right amount, the other person would send the currency back. The problem with this is person number two doesn't necessarily have to send the currency back to you. They could just take the original currency and then keep the second type as well. The second option is going through an exchange where person A can trade it with person B, but they go through an intermediary that is probably going to take a certain cut. Now, going through an exchange is likely going to be a better option than the first one because you're less likely to get scammed that way. However, exchanges are expensive and they're also usually very slow. However, with cryptocurrency, you have what's known as smart contracts, and this would allow you to exchange your Ethereum for Bitcoin without using an intermediary. And smart contracts are trustless. So basically, two different people use a smart contract, and this contract will say, once this amount of Bitcoin has been sent to this person, then it's automatically going to send this amount of Ethereum to the other person. And all of this is done automatically and without the need for trust. Now, I could make an entire video about the uses for smart contracts, and suffice it to say, this can be done for a lot more than just exchanging currencies. If you have ever sold a house, for instance, you know all of the ridiculous amount of costs that go into selling a house from person A to person B. There's so many different intermediaries that you have to go through in order to complete that process. So if you have a $1 million home, for instance, it's probably going to cost you $60,000 to $70,000 in order for you to sell it. Using cryptocurrency and with the use of smart contracts, however, you can drastically reduce those charges. We may even be able to get it to the point where it's completely free for person A to sell a house to person B. Now, you hold this cryptocurrency in what is known as a wallet, and these wallets can be hot or cold. Hot means that the wallet is connected to the internet, and cold means that the wallet is not connected. Hot wallets are more useful and easily accessible, whereas cold wallets are safer but less accessible. And then you also have public and private keys as well as seed phrases. So your private key is going to be a series of letters and numbers. This is something that you want to keep private. However, there is also a public key that matches your private key so people can verify that the transaction did take place on the blockchain. So this is basically a way for you to have your cake and eat it too. The transaction is transparent so that other people can verify it so that they know there's nothing weird going on, there's no funny business. But at the same time, your transaction is relatively anonymous. Nobody knows exactly who did that transaction. And then you also have what are known as seed phrases. And this is a bunch of different words. It's another thing that you want to keep completely private. And this is used for you to access your wallet even if you lost it. So let's say that maybe you had a physical wallet or a cold wallet, it burned down in your house fire. You can use these seed phrases in order to recover your cryptocurrency. Same thing if you forgot your password for whatever reason, you can also use these seed phrases for that. So these are both things that you absolutely want to keep private no matter what. Now, when it comes to where you buy your cryptocurrency, there are 5 main options. And I'm going to go through all of these from the most common to the least common. Now, first of all, you can buy cryptocurrencies by going through exchanges or exchange platforms. An example of this one would be Coinbase. And we're going to be going over that in detail later on in this video. You can also buy cryptocurrency by going through third-party brokers. And an example of this one would be Webull. So in the first case, if you bought, like, let's say some Bitcoin on Coinbase, and then you transferred that into a wallet, you actually own that Bitcoin. You have the keys to the Bitcoin, and so you own it. In the second case, if you buy Bitcoin through Webull, you do not technically own it because you don't control the keys. So this is a very big distinction between these two different ways of buying cryptocurrency. A third way of buying crypto is through what's known as a cryptocurrency ATM. So you may have seen one of these in real life, like a Bitcoin ATM, where you can actually just go up to it, put your credit card or your debit card in, and buy yourself some cryptocurrency right on the spot. The fourth most common way is peer-to-peer transactions that happen online. So this is where you would send money from one person to another and they would send you cryptocurrency back. And then the fifth most common way is peer-to-peer transactions that happen in real life. So this is where you actually physically meet up with somebody in order to buy Bitcoin, for instance. Now, I will say that depending on the country you live in and like local rules and stuff like that, the last two can be somewhat sketchy. And the reason for that is because this is technically a way that you could kind of launder money. So just be very careful if you're buying a cryptocurrency from another person, especially if you don't understand how it works. All right, so next we're going to be going over some of the most popular exchanges. And I'm going to be talking about some advanced exchanges as well as some beginner-friendly options. So first we're going to be talking about the advanced exchanges. So the first one we're going to talk about is going to be Binance. Now, I'm not going to go into the details on this. There are many articles online that compare all of these different exchanges. I'm just going to talk about some things that I have experienced because I've used almost all of the exchanges that I'm going to be talking about. So Binance, first of all, relatively low fees compared to the other exchanges on transactions. Many different options on Binance. They also have extremely advanced charting technology. It's definitely more difficult for a beginner to use it, especially over something like Coinbase. Now, here's a really bad part, guys. Many states in the US don't actually support Binance, including the one that I live in. So I was using Binance and then I moved to Washington and all of a sudden I couldn't use Binance anymore and I had to kind of scramble to get all of my cryptocurrencies off of it. So the US started dropping regulations on cryptocurrency. Some of the exchanges became more regulation friendly within the US and some of them decided to not do that. And Binance was kind of one of them that decided to not do it. And so in some states, you can't use Binance. Now, one thing that's really bad about Binance is the withdrawal fees are awful. And I found this out when I had to transfer all of my money off of it. FTX is another exchange. This is another relatively advanced one. However, it is relatively regulation friendly and it is a US based exchange. From my experience, they have really good customer service. It was founded by this guy named Sam Bankman-Fried, which is kind of a character in the cryptocurrency community, and he is literally a cryptocurrency billionaire. They do have very low trading fees, and they tend to be relatively customer-oriented. When Sam Bankman-Fried was making FTX, he basically thought, what are all the complaints that everybody has about all of these other exchanges? And also all of the complaints that he himself had about them. And then he made the exchange that he wished existed. So yeah, FTX, really good option. Kraken is another option. This one is especially popular among professional traders. And because of that, they have all kinds of different tools and advanced technologies. And when I say traders, I'm not necessarily referring to investors, people who are planning on keeping the cryptocurrency long term. Many of them are day traders or swing traders. These are people who are going to buy a cryptocurrency and sell it at the end of the day, or maybe buy one and sell it at the end of the week. Uniswap is a decentralized exchange. So all the ones that I talked about before were centralized. So just a few differences between centralized and decentralized exchanges. Not going to get too deep into this. So there's basically three pros to centralized exchanges. One, they are very easy to use. Two, they tend to be regulation friendly. And 2.5/3, this is kind of half a reason. Some of them are insured. So some of them have certain protections that you wouldn't necessarily have on a decentralized exchange. So basically on a centralized exchange, they control your funds. They actually have your keys, you don't. And that can be a good thing or a bad thing, and it really just depends on how you look at it. So let's say you make some type of mistake and you send your Ethereum to some random blockchain like Bitcoin or something along those lines. If you are operating on a centralized exchange, they might be able to help you. Whereas if you are on a decentralized exchange, you are probably out of luck. But there are a lot of caveats and exceptions to this, and I'm not really going to go over them in this video. The positives to being on a decentralized exchange are that you are in full control of your funds, you have the keys, and remember that saying, not your keys, not your crypto. They are incredibly secure. They're pretty much impossible to hack. It is more anonymous than a decentralized exchange. You don't have to provide a bunch of information like your identification and your social security number, etc., in order to sign up to a decentralized exchange. So overall, for beginners, I do recommend starting off with a centralized exchange. However, after you get the hang of it, you can probably move over to decentralized. And Uniswap is a really good one that I personally use. Now, in order to use this exchange, you would have a hot wallet like MetaMask, for instance. That's what I use. Now, Uniswap is probably the most established decentralized exchange, but there are a bunch of other ones like PancakeSwap, for instance, and PancakeSwap is slightly cheaper than Uniswap. Now we're going to be moving on to the beginner-friendly exchanges as well as applications. So Coinbase is probably the most popular and most beginner-friendly exchange that you can use. You are very limited in what you can purchase. There's currently over 10,000 cryptocurrencies. Many of the other exchanges will offer you thousands of different options. However, on Coinbase, I believe there is less than 100. However, they are very picky about which cryptocurrencies they allow on their exchange. So this kind of goes back to that example of decentralized versus centralized. If somebody were to convince you on a decentralized exchange to buy some completely worthless coin, there's not really much that anybody could do about it. Whereas on Coinbase, you're much less likely to have that happen because they limit the coins that are on there. However, on Coinbase, you can actually buy cryptocurrency with money. Coinbase has some of the strongest security out of the exchanges. And on top of that, if you are somebody who wants to become an advanced trader, you can upgrade to what's known as Coinbase Pro, where they have a lot more advanced options. So yeah, Coinbase, this is one of the ones we're going to be using later on in the video. Gemini is another great option for beginners. This one is owned by the Winklevoss twins. These are the guys that Mark Zuckerberg apparently stole the idea for Facebook from. Gemini is also US based and extremely regulation friendly. It is one of Coinbase's biggest competitors. I would say that it's a little bit more advanced than Coinbase, but still relatively beginner friendly. Next one on the list is going to be Webull. This is an investing app and a brokerage. I'd say they are slightly less easy to use than Coinbase, but there is more functionality than Coinbase. Fees are also extremely low. You do have an extremely limited selection of cryptocurrency. I think they have less than 20 available right now. Now, this is a really big thing. You don't actually own your cryptocurrency. So in the case of Coinbase, you technically don't own it either because you don't own the keys. However, you can send that cryptocurrency to your wallet where you do own it. With Webull, you can't send that cryptocurrency to your wallet. You never technically own it. They will always control it. And they are basically buying it for you as a proxy. So you can't tell them, hey, I want you to send this cryptocurrency to a wallet. Now, I would say this one is slightly less easy to use than Coinbase. However, I would also say that it's probably a little bit faster. Sometimes Coinbase will have a process where they have to go through in order to verify your identity, and that can take several days. Whereas it's probably a little bit faster with Webull. I would say Robinhood is almost like Webull, except a little bit easier to use, but also a little bit less functionality. But it has all of the other downsides to Webull. It's still a brokerage and is not technically a cryptocurrency exchange, so you do not own your crypto. All right, so my first present to you, I'm not going to be going over how to evaluate cryptocurrencies in this video because this is just about how to buy them. However, I highly recommend that you do your due diligence and make sure you are making a good investment. And these are some of my favorite free resources for doing research on cryptocurrencies. Coin360.com, fantastic resource. This is basically a way that you can visualize the cryptocurrency market almost like an index. So this is very similar to an index fund. It shows you which cryptocurrencies are dominant on the market in terms of their market cap. So as you see, Bitcoin has a 41% dominance here. It's currently sitting at about $50,000 per Bitcoin. Ethereum is sitting about $4,000 per ETH. You've got some other players that are coming up on the scene. Solana, Luna, XRP, Cardano, Polkadot, Binance Coin. So yeah, this is a really great way for you to visualize which cryptocurrencies have high market caps. Another great option for doing research is CoinMarketCap. And I think everybody who has been around cryptocurrency for any time at all knows about this one. So this, for instance, is all of the different charts. So you can look at like the total cryptocurrency market cap and how big it was all the way back to 2013. Now, this was the 2017 bull run, and this is the current bull run that we're on right now. There's a bunch of really good charts on here. This one is Bitcoin dominance, and you can compare it to a bunch of other different types of cryptocurrencies. And you can just click these, and that will add all the different types. So when you add all of them, you see that Bitcoin and other basically take up like a significant amount of the dominance. But if you take out other and Bitcoin, then you see that Ethereum is really dominant. But, you know, maybe you want to do some research on some other types of cryptocurrencies. You know, for instance, XRP at one point was actually more dominant than Ethereum for a very short period of time. So maybe you want to take Ethereum off and you kind of want to look at some of the other ones. Looks like Binance Coin's doing great, Tether's doing good, Solana, XRP, Terra, Polkadot. These are all taking up a significant amount of the market cap. This is another good way just to visualize things and see how the different cryptocurrencies are doing and compare them to other ones that are similar. And also just in general, they have over 16,000 cryptos listed on CoinMarketCap. You can do research on exchanges as well, NFTs. You can put things on your watch list. There are just so many different resources that CoinMarketCap has. A more advanced option for doing research is going to be DeFi Llama. So this chart, for instance, is what's called total value locked. And this is basically the amount of assets that are currently being staked in a specific protocol. And so you see that Ethereum actually has the highest total value locked out of all the different cryptocurrencies at about 159 billion. Terra is actually number 2. They have been on an absolute tear over the last month. BNB's 3, Solana is number 4, AVAX is number 5. And you can also see the 7-day change. So Solana is up 20%, Terra is up 30%. Now, total value locked is basically an indicator of people's intentions when it comes to their investments. There's a lot of people who buy certain cryptocurrencies and they are planning on selling them maybe the next day or a week later, basically whenever it goes up. Total value locked shows that people are dedicated to this cryptocurrency and they are very likely to hold it for the long term. And that is a very good sign. And this isn't the only thing that DeFi Llama has. They have all kinds of different options for you. Many of them are unpaid. I know they also have paid options as well. A great resource for doing research on cryptocurrency. Now, you're probably going to laugh at this, but Twitter is actually an incredible resource for doing research on cryptocurrencies as well. And the reason for that is because the speed of communication on Twitter is faster than any other type of social media network. So for instance, let's say something big happens in the cryptocurrency world. In order for me to make a video about it, it's going to take at least 3 hours. And that's if I make a super quick video. Whereas if I was just going to make a tweet about something, it would take me maybe 30 seconds to a minute. Even if I was making like a TikTok, it would still probably take me at least 30 minutes to get a video out. So Twitter is super fast. CryptoDiffer is one of them. You know, top 15 coins by Galaxy Score. The daily gainers list. Now, do I buy stuff based off of the information that CryptoDiffer gives me? Absolutely not. But do I get ideas for cryptocurrencies to look into based off of this information? Definitely. I absolutely get ideas from this Twitter as well as a bunch of other Twitters all the time. You've always got to remember here to do your own research, though. Very important. DYOR, very important rule in cryptocurrency. Get ideas from other people, get inspiration from other people, but always do your own research. DappRadar is another really good resource that you can look at. Now, there are a ton of different graphs that you can look at on DappRadar. I'll give you one example here. This graph is the total number of unique active wallet addresses interacting with smart contracts. So you can do it by 30 days, 7 days, and 1 year. And we see here that around the beginning of 2020, DeFi was actually the most common type of cryptocurrency that interacted with smart contracts. And over the last year, gaming cryptocurrencies have actually overtaken DeFi. So gaming and metaverse related cryptocurrencies are currently #1 when it comes to using smart contracts. Same thing when you look at transactions per category. Gaming cryptos are by far #1. However, when it comes to volume, DeFi is still #1 by far. And I know a lot of these ones at the bottom look really small. So what you can do is just click this, get rid of it. That one was also really big, so click that and get rid of it. And then you can look at all of the other ones to see which ones are having quite a bit of volume other than the 2 dominant ones. So yeah, lots of incredibly useful graphs here. Again, I wouldn't make all of my purchasing decisions based solely off of this. This is just another part of research that you do when you're thinking about buying a cryptocurrency. Another great free resource to use is actually just Google Trends. So in this particular case, I'm comparing the search term Ethereum to Solana. Ethereum and Solana are two really big cryptocurrencies. Ethereum is the bigger one, but Solana is kind of the new kid on the block. Now, you do have to be a little bit careful because Solana is also a beach. So, you know, people were probably searching Solana to look for the beach. But yeah, you see that over the last few months, the searches for Solana have gone up significantly. And at one point, you know, Ethereum was having a ratio of around 95-3 when it comes to searches. And now it's only 29-8. So Solana is definitely covering some distance on Ethereum. People are becoming more and more aware of Solana, and that is another indicator that its value is going up. So I just want to reiterate, I don't make buying decisions based off of any one of these metrics. I look at a bunch of different ones, probably dozens at the end of the day before I decide to buy a cryptocurrency. But with that being said, these are some of the best free resources that I recommend for you to look into. And this is my first gift to you in this video. All right, so we are going to get into how to buy crypto on Coinbase. And this is something that I had to do several days ago in order to make this video because there is a little bit of a delay after you buy the cryptocurrency before you can start using it. And so we are going to jump over to the video that I did several days ago in order to buy this. Hey guys, this is Shane from the past. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to buy cryptocurrency. Now this is on Coinbase.com, of course, and it's very simple. So once you create your account, your dashboard is going to look very similar to this. This is one of my Coinbase accounts, so I already have some money in here. But you're going to go up to the top right and you're going to click Buy, Sell. Now at this point, it's going to give you several options. You can buy, sell, or convert. You can also do a one-time purchase, or you can purchase daily, weekly, 1st and 15th every month, etc. Of course, I'm just going to be doing a one-time purchase. Right here, you can go ahead and choose which cryptocurrency you want to buy. So there are a bunch of different options. I'll just quickly scroll down here. You can pause the video if you want to see all of them. So quite a few options, lots to choose from there. In this particular case, just to keep things simple, I'm going to go ahead and buy some Ethereum. Now in this case, I am going to buy $9,000 worth of Ethereum. Next thing you need to do is set up your bank account. So that's what the Pay With is. You would basically just go in there, you'd click on it, you'd have to set up your bank account, you know, put your account number, your routing number in, etc. Pretty standard. And after you've done that, you can click Preview Buy. Now it's again going to try to make you buy this weekly. And then you go down here and you click Buy. All right, took just a few seconds and the Ethereum was successfully purchased. All right, guys, so back to Future Shane here. Now we're going to go over how to trade crypto on Coinbase. And by the way, the transaction did not take very long, and you will usually pretty much have instant access to a certain amount of your cryptocurrency. I had access to about 1,000 out of the 9,000 cryptocurrency that I bought right away. And then about 4 days later, I had access to the rest. All right, guys, so jumping into the cryptocurrency account here, we're going to go over how to trade cryptocurrency on Coinbase. And I think you are going to be mind blown at how unbelievably simple this is. And that's why I used Coinbase for this video, because it is just ridiculously easy to use. So we're on the main page here. You go to Trade. Then I'm going to go ahead and click on Ethereum, since that's what we bought the other day. And then I'm going to go over here and click Convert. So I am going to go ahead and convert $1,000 of Ethereum into $1,000 of Solana. I did this before, so that's why it was automatically selected, but you can do anything. So you can change the Ethereum if you want. You can also change the Solana if you want. And they do have a selection of different cryptocurrencies here, but I'm going to go ahead and stick with the Solana. If you wanted to do Cardano, you just click Cardano. If you wanted to do Polkadot, you'd click Polkadot, etc. And if you wanted to convert all, you could just click Convert All, and it would do all of your Ethereum and convert it into Solana. But I'm just going to do 1,000. I'm going to click Preview Convert, and I just realized my head was in the way when I did that. So yeah, it said Preview Convert right there, and that was what the big blue button said. And then we're just going to click Convert Now. And of course, you would verify all of the information is correct. And there you go. It's converted. It didn't take long at all. You can view the transaction if you want. On other exchanges, a lot of the time, if you wanted to convert one to the other, it's much more complicated because you actually have to do the calculations yourself and figure out exactly what you want to convert one to the other for. With Coinbase, they just do all of that for you. So on other exchanges, yes, you have a little bit more control. You might get a slightly better deal, but you also might get a worse deal. You never really know. It depends on how good your calculation was. However, on Coinbase, they just do the calculation for you, and it's super simple, super fast, and super easy. Now we're going to go over how to transfer your cryptocurrency off of Coinbase. All right, so we are back on the main page here. What you're going to want to do is, first of all, get the key for whatever wallet you are transferring your cryptocurrency to. So again, the key is that special combination of letters and numbers that is attached to a cryptocurrency wallet. And within that wallet, you may have many different types of cryptocurrencies, and they all have different keys. So you would not want to send a Bitcoin, for instance, to an Ethereum cryptocurrency key wallet. So you only want to send Ethereum crypto to an Ethereum cryptocurrency wallet. So you want to double and triple check that you've got the right one. But once you do, you'd go up to the top right here and you would click Send Receive. And then you would go here and you would paste the cryptocurrency key. Then you go right here and you do how much you want to send. In this particular case, I'm going to do about 1,000. You'd go here, and this is where you paste that key that I was talking about. You can do an optional little message here. Just something for me to remember why I'm doing it. And then you would go ahead and make sure everything's right and click Continue. Again, just go ahead and verify, make sure everything's right. And Ethereum, a lot of the time, because of the fact that there's so many transactions and because it's still proof of work and it's not super efficient at this point. Hopefully it will be next year, though. They're fixing it. Sometimes it can take several minutes for the transactions to go through. But once you've verified everything, made sure everything's good, you go ahead and send it. Then if you set up two-step verification, it's going to have you do the authentication here. And boom, you're done. That easy. All right, so on this next part, I'm very quickly going to go over how to stake cryptocurrency. And this is basically where you are able to get paid a small amount for the cryptocurrency that you hold on an exchange. Now, on Coinbase, you can get paid up to 5%, which is pretty good. Most banks pay like 0.1%. Even the best ones pay like 2% max. So getting paid 5% is excellent. So the way that you would stake your cryptocurrency is, first of all, some of them just automatically stake. You don't even have to set it. But if they don't automatically stake, what you want to do is go over here and click Earn Interest. Then you want to pick the cryptocurrency that you want to stake. In this particular case, I'm going to go ahead and do Ethereum. And then you would click Stake Now. Now, I'm not going to do it just because I am using my Ethereum for different things right now, but if you were planning on making some money with it and keeping it in the same place for a while, you would want to stake now. So you'd click that, and that's how it would be done, and it's very easy, very simple process. Next, I'm going to be going over how to sell your cryptocurrency on Coinbase. All right, so we are back on the main screen again. What you want to do is go up into the top right and click Buy Sell. Then you are going to want to click on the Sell tab. Click the cryptocurrency that you are planning on selling. In this particular case, it's going to be Ethereum. Click the amount that you want to sell. And of course, you are going to be selling Ethereum and receiving cash in return. This is the US dollar. Going to click Preview Sell here. Sell now. And within a few seconds, it was done. Now, one thing I will mention here is it doesn't automatically go back to your bank account. That would be a separate transaction that you would do if you would want to send that cash back to your bank. It is basically cash that is just sitting on Coinbase for you to use anytime you need. All right, so in this part, we are going to be going over how to buy cryptocurrency using Webull. Now, I'm just going to remind you, this is cryptocurrency that you definitely do not own. In the case of Coinbase, you sort of own it. You don't have access access to the keys, but you still sort of own it because you can send that cryptocurrency to somewhere where you do have access to the keys. In this particular case with Webull, you don't have access to the keys at all and you can't really send it anywhere. So you own it through a proxy, but you are very limited in what you can actually do with it. However, with the Coinbase example, it did take 5 whole days before you had access to the entire amount of money, whereas with Webull, it will be a little bit faster. So if you are really anxious to get your hands on some cryptocurrency, you see the markets going up, Webull would be a faster option. In terms of the interface, it is slightly more difficult to use, although it's still pretty easy. It's very beginner friendly. And just like with Coinbase, I actually did this transaction several days ago, so I am going to be jumping into that video now. All right, Future Shane here again. So basically, I made the purchase. Didn't take long. It is definitely faster than Coinbase. So it looks like my investment in Bitcoin has already gone up and it's just a few days. It's up about 2.65%. So I've already made like $26 from my $1,000 investment. But you know, you've got these options here at the bottom: watch list, markets, the middle one, community, and messages. You're gonna wanna click on the middle one. And then from the middle one, you go to this one here. And this is how you check your investment. This is how you kind of look at how it's doing. A lot of options for you to check here. But in this particular example, I'm going to go ahead and sell. So what you would want to do is click sell to close, and it automatically sets everything. You know, you can do like a market order or a limit order. I'll just keep it how it is. And it did the calculation for me. You can adjust that calculation a little bit if you want. And then at the very bottom, after you've made sure everything is good, you're going to go ahead and click sell. Gives you a little notice there. You want to make sure that you read that and understand what it means. Click understood. And then you want to click confirm. And there you go. Shouldn't take too long. That is basically how you sell your cryptocurrency on Webull. Now, next, we're going to really quickly talk about cryptocurrency taxes. So this is a very complicated subject. Always do your own research, you know, talk with your accountant, talk with your CPA. But with that being said, this is constantly changing. It depends on the country you live in, the state you live in. But very generally speaking, you're either going to be paying long-term capital gains tax or short-term capital gains tax. Now, one thing that is kind of disappointing and it kind of sucks right now about crypto is, technically speaking, when you trade Bitcoin for Ethereum, that is a taxable event. So even though you didn't sell it for fiat currency, for the US dollar, you still technically have to pay taxes on that. That is a taxable event. Now, whether you pay short-term capital gains or long-term capital gains depends on how long you had it before you traded it. So for short-term capital gains tax, that is anything that you held less than 1 year. For long-term capital gains tax, that is anything that you held for more than 1 year. And as you can see on the screen, long-term capital gains is going to be significantly less than short-term. So this is yet another reason why it is probably a good idea for you to invest for the long term. And that's something that I'm going to go into much more detail on in other videos. So I highly recommend that if you want to know how to invest, the best strategies for investing, watch my other videos. But one really awesome thing here is if you are doing less than $10,000 of cryptocurrency, which, you know, most people do start off with less than 10,000. I know I definitely did. As long as you hold it for more than a year, you're going to pay 0% in taxes on it. All right, so now we're going to go over different methods for storing your cryptocurrency. So this is what you would do with it after you have already bought some. So first of all, this is probably the most common method, which is just leaving it on the exchange. Now, some of the pros to this is it's very easy for you to get rewards from staking if you just leave it on an exchange. So instead of it just sitting there and, you know, a lot of the time it will gain in value because it usually goes up. Even if it goes down, you can still get rewards for it, similar to a bank account, but usually quite a bit more. So when it comes to staking, a lot of the time you can actually get over 10% return from staking. Coinbase is relatively low at 5%. This is very risky because your wallet can get hacked because it's connected to the internet. And also the exchange itself can get hacked. Even if they're storing it in cold storage on the exchange, they can still get hacked. This is usually hot storage because it's usually connected to the internet, and hot storage is less secure than cold storage. But you can also transfer it to another exchange that gives you better rates. Now, I will say that a decentralized exchange is going to be safer than a centralized exchange. And there are ways for you to stake your cryptocurrency on a decentralized exchange as well, although it is a little bit more complicated than the process of staking it on a centralized exchange. Another option is a custodial wallet. And this is where another party controls your private keys and you trust this third party to store your cryptocurrency and your money safely. And this can be hot or cold. So if you don't want to deal with the whole private keys thing, you're afraid you're going to lose it or something like that, this can be an option for you. Although, like I said, it's probably going to be less secure. Another option, and this is, in my opinion, probably the most secure option, is cold storage. Now, what I have for cold storage is a Ledger wallet. There are other really good options out there as well, like Trezor. Now, I'm hoping you can see this really clearly, but yeah, this is what my Ledger wallet looks like. It's pretty cool. And in my opinion, this little wallet right here is probably the most secure way for you to store your cryptocurrency. It's cold storage, so it's not connected to the internet, so it's secure from hacks. However, if you are not careful, you could lose your private key or your recovery seed phrases. And in that case, you would end up losing your cryptocurrency. So again, it's always going to be a trade-off, and it's going to depend on the person over whether they prefer one method over the other. And then the last method is actually storing it on what's known as a paper wallet. And this is basically a piece of paper that contains either a QR code or a key, and you can actually use this piece of paper to access your cryptocurrency. This is technically a type of cold wallet. And usually you would want to keep this tiny piece of paper, which is worth an incredible amount of money if you have a bunch of cryptocurrency attached to it, in some type of bank vault, or at the very least in a very secure place like a lockbox. All right, guys, so another free gift and surprise for you. This is my second one. There is a list of sign-up bonuses that you can use. Almost all of these are going to give you free cryptocurrency or free stocks. So this is a list. I'm going to leave it down in the description below. Some of these are affiliate links. Some of them are not affiliate links, but all of them are, from my research, the best possible options for getting free stocks, free cryptocurrency, etc. And I will be adding to this list as I find better options. Now, if you don't want to give me the affiliate commission, that's totally fine. You can just look this up, and I'm sure there's lots of other people that offer the same affiliate commission. You can give it to them instead. But I did the research for you, and these are the ones that offer the most return when it comes to the amount of effort and time that you put into signing up for their service. So this video took a very long time to make. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and then also share this video with others if you want them to have a really good reference for kind of a base on how to buy cryptocurrency. And here are my citations. Hope you enjoyed the video. Check out my other videos right here. I made them just for you. Go ahead, gently tap that like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and comment down below any thoughts, comments, etc. that you have on the video, and I will see you next time.